Hello everyone. Many American Indian nations and cultures hold the idea that business is founded on relationships and that life is a shared experience and that trade is all based around the fortification of relationships, such as building families, which link to allies, which link to prosperity for all involved, and strengthen the community. Of course, most would agree that without relationships, one is leading a lonely and meaningless life. However, that entirely depends on what a person's idea of relationships are. However, the natural idea of relationships, of course, is a cultivated experience shared with another. In training martial arts, a person cannot do it alone, although one can train basic forms, but ultimately an opponent is necessary as a partner in the shared experience of sharpening one's combat skills. The ingredients on a dinner table all have a shared relationship between one another. Without certain components, a meal can turn out horrible, and with them, delicious. And of course, the apple naturally will cultivate many relationships and be oriented inexistent to different things in the world, such as its relationship to the tree. The apple, of course, is an extension of the tree and will in turn make other trees. And then the tree shares a strong relationship to the orchard and other trees in that orchard where they link together and cultivate produce. And then naturally that orchard has a place in the world and has a relationship to it, and the tree itself has a relationship to the world. Relationships, of course, are a natural thing and can be found in most aspects of life, and they are built on trust. A bad faith relationship or bad faith business deal is the idea of somebody intentionally entering into a contract or business relationship or any other type of relationship with bad intentions or tricks and swindles as the objective. Now, globally, we run on a system of contractual relationships and contractual business, which is diametrically opposed to the natural idea of relationships. The arm's length relationship, such as when someone says it's just business. Of course, such individuals, being untrustworthy, would seek to spy on the rest of us, and so they establish complicated systems of surveillance, and they look for different ways to get the edge over on others because wholeheartedly they do not trust us, so why should we trust them? Instead, they believe, as they themselves are, that we are all inherently trustworthy, and they develop complicated spy states that we live in. Of course, they also threaten us, and they come like thieves in the night, changing laws for their benefit clandestinely, and acquiring that which we use, and selling all the information that they can obligate us or trick us into giving them. And they implement psychological campaigns, and they distract us and attempt to manipulate our methods of perception, while they tell us to keep secrets that they themselves will not, and tell us not to mention certain things, what we can and can't talk about, say, or engage in. Just like an abuser might say to their victim, keep quiet or else. Of course, this idea of natural relationship versus arm's length relationship and living life based on contract is where we find the manipulations of legal rights and laws that are implemented with the intent of controlling us for the benefit of a certain group of individuals. We are taught to base all of our life decisions based entirely off contracts, the binding document where we sign over our life and the natural idea of relationships is ignored for the benefit of bad faith deals. And of course, we are governed by the unlawful edicts of terms and conditions, which run every aspect of our lives based entirely off of that bonding contract, rather than the development of strong relationships that benefit both parties. And of course, life is run like a simple exchange, giving one thing for another, and our relationships are run in a similar fashion with other human beings. Of course, in this unnatural method of living our lives, the issue of solving existence is no easy task. It will require a great deal of contemplation and figuring out ways to move towards a more shared experience rather than simple arm's length deals, terms and conditions, and simple exchanges.